Everybody loved Mr. Coach Cheatham. That's his first name, Coach Cheatham.
Being a Little League ball player in Grove Park was really a way to escape from the pressures of the hood, of the neighborhood.
It's holy ground, if you will, that over there at Grove Park.
The ones that didn't make it, they became good men.
This black team from Mississippi had gone on to play in the World Series.
We part of this city.
To go and deface it like that.
We can't take a blind eye.
And it's time for somebody to do something.
I probably don't know what I would be doing right now if I hadn't played ball at Grove Park.
I don't care what you did to him. He always loved you. And that's what made him what he was.
Walter Cheatham coached baseball for over 50 years at the Grove Park Youth Baseball League in Northwest Jackson, mentoring thousands of children growing up in the city. His death 1 year ago this month brought together a community and 3 old friends, sparking conversation about the impact of Grove Park, its current state, and the state of the city.
And he was loud. He was loud, man. He'd be right there talking to him. Well, Ken, you got to get it from. Don't be scared of the ball. And he'd be right here like, okay, Mr. Cheatham, I hear you.
I really learned a lot with him for as being a dad.
Yeah.
You understand?
And I just, would love to hear him say one more time, I need to holler at you. Yeah. I would love to hear him say that one more time.
Grove Park, this park, took in upwards of over 800 kids a summer. Now, hundreds of those throughout the years without stable homes or stable role models or a way to pay for just the simplest baseball gear like a glove or a hat or, of course,
See that run?
a bat.
Run.
Cheatham and the other coaches took them in anyways, and Grove Park is still putting smiles on faces and hope in hearts.
We had that one bat, it was Tinkerbell. All you heard that bat, tink, tink. We would sit in the dugout and say, how far you gonna hit it? And we would get up the bat, had our chance with big bad Ken batting 245, broad at the shoulders and narrow at the side. Everybody do not to roll their eyes at Big Ken. Big bad.
Man, Grove Park since I've been 4 years old. People that really know Peanut, not Mo, not Maurice, but Peanut, they will realize and tell you he's a baseball player.
Not only helped me, he helped a lot of kids. You know how much talent came through Grove Park, man?
I know, I'm familiar with some.
Are you familiar with some?
Yeah.
Look, it was a treat for the neighborhood people to go to and watch the ball games. Our games would be packed.
We were so good that it may have been to our detriment.
Ken Wells,
Get that crow hop, baby.
54-year-old pastor and former Grove Park star, says he and his teammates were a problem in the 1980s. He says it's not because they were winning, but because they were winning. Let's go! And they were black.
You had to give your birth certificate. You had to bring your birth certificate when you started playing. We couldn't be that good and be that mannerable and be that disciplined as young black kids in the 80s.
As kids, we understand when you're getting slighted, but they never use that as an excuse for us.
Facing an unfair playing field, foreshadowing the realities of life. It set the stage for the leaders of Grove Park to prepare their kids for the challenges ahead and to take those challenges on with dignity.
Where's Grove Park?
And we took pride in it.
Yes, sir.
Grove Park, they black.
Now go home. We'll see you for your game tomorrow.
You mean to tell me they that mannerable? We taught them that.
They taught them to channel that anger into the baseball, and boy, that baseball flew.
We put that hammer down, baby. We pulled, we put it down. Lord, we put it down. And boy, them folks were looking at us, they're like, man, they got to be too old.
Despite everything, Grove Park was fun. The escape, the safety, the life lessons are what the coaches and former ball players say made Grove Park the special place they revere.
Some of them went on, but the ones that didn't make it, they became good men.
After officers charged a 15-year-old with capital murder.
11-year-olds, 12-year-olds committing armed robberies and carjackings with a gun.
We want to get them more involved in the culture of this city.
And we got so much necessary work we need to do with our youth.
It's the outcome policymakers and community activists have been striving for. Only Grove Park doesn't take in 800 children a summer anymore. If nothing changes, it may soon take in none. In Grove Park, Bradley Davis, 16 WAPT.
When you look at it today, I would not invite my neighborhood to this park.
Don't have a lot of places to go or things to do. It is very scary.
Grove Park was really a way to escape from the pressures of the hood, of the neighborhood. Being a young kid, walking to the ballpark was not fun. I was pretty much on the far side of town, and sometimes we would have to, jump on the train. But it was not uncommon to hear gunfire after the games. When you're out there, you're fighting all the time, and it seems like there's no peace. This was my peace.
Grove Park, the legacy of longtime Little League coach Walter Cheatham, the peace for former Major Leaguer Curt Ford, and hundreds more may soon be no more.
Almost like the dinosaurs, it stink, man.
The fossils that remain paint a picture of neglect and disorder. No nighttime Little League under the broken lights. The pool closed, tennis courts out of commission, and the fields worn and tattered. From a place of peace to a place of disrepair. To understand, it's important to know what's changed, what's stayed the same, in the disconnect between the city and its residents.
He ended up coming back home.
Residents like longtime Little League coaches Dan McCoy and Walter's older brother Thomas Cheatham, who shares the namesake of the Grove Park fields. They say the park has been second-rate to others in Jackson, even back in the 80s.
Back then, Forest Hill, Level Woods,
Battlefield Park,
Clinton.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
We would drive up. We would just get our vehicle, and we would just look at the field.
Look at like wow.
Mm-hmm. And then when we come back home, we were like, wow.
Even so, Grove Park welcomed over 800 kids a summer in those days. Today, in an age when the community begs for more programs for young people to keep off the streets,
you can't necessarily just tell them you love them, you got to show them you love them.
Grove Park now hovers around 200 kids.
We don't have that same impact in our city right now.
Thomas and McCoy blame the deterioration on years of underfunding. They say it was them and the other coaches, not the city, who cared for Grove Park, a public park, without pay.
We redid all that. Cut, chalked, lined all the stuff up. We didn't get nothing from the city. I'm trying not to get upset because I feel like we part of this city. And it's time for somebody to do something.
If the city did not touch this park at all, not at all, and you see how the grass is now after one day of rain, how you think this place will look if we didn't touch it at all for years? You wouldn't even know that this is a field. It would look like a safari, a tundra.
Abram Muhammad is the new Jackson Parks and Recreation Director after nearly 9 years with the department. He says he can't speak for Parks and Rec in the 80s, but he's firm on its support now. He says the difference between Grove Park and the other better-maintained Jackson ball fields isn't from inequitable public funding, but a difference in private investment.
So you're saying that they had more community partnerships and investment from Jackson residents than Grove Park?
During my tenure of being here, that's what I've seen. And it makes a difference.
I submitted a public records request for documentation of the city's funding toward Grove Park since its founding. The Parks and Rec budget supervisor told me if there has been any public funding received for Grove Park, there is no documentation. Muhammad maintains the department's equitable treatment and says vandalization is also to blame for the park's deterioration.
When we're spending over $30,000 in replacing fixtures, piping, and copper, when that $30,000 could have went to more sand. Talk to those that you know that are coming doing things out here that they're not supposed to be doing. We can't take a blind eye.
In the 1980s, Jackson had park rangers who could keep their eyes on the fields. 10 years ago, there was a proposed $2 million funding project to improve Jackson parks and bring back the park ranger force. But the proposal failed.
We can all make excuses, but can we make sacrifices to give our kids an opportunity to progress?
Not enough money to improve the park, not enough money for law enforcement to defend the park, and not enough money to fix the damage done to the park. A death spiral that will send Grove Park tumbling. That is, unless the city and the community work together. And change may be on the horizon. In Grove Park, Bradley Davis, 16 WAPT.
He didn't go just for himself. Walter Health got bad down the years. He was still there for them boys. He was still there for Grove Park.
In return, Grove Park has done more than its part for the city of Jackson. Hundreds of the young men went on to become successful grown men. NBA star Mo Williams, St. Louis Cardinal Kurt Ford, pastor Ken Wells. Them and so many more, all alums of Grove Park. Just like its young athletes, the park needs money, investment, and care. In recent decades, it's experienced a rollback of park rangers, rampant vandalism, and an overtaxed and understaffed Parks and Rec department.
And what were the other duties that fell to Parks and Rec that probably shouldn't have?
Curbs and gutters, vacant lots, mediums, cornerstones.
Parks and Rec Director Abram Muhammad says new legislation may finally bring that to an end.
This will make the first year in years to where Parks and Recreation are in position to focus on park recreation and programming services. The first time.
Grove Park Vice President and Game Coordinator Clint Johnson says he's already seen a difference with the new Parks and Rec regime.
You can see it as far as the taking care of the fields, the entrance coming into the park. We've been trying to get that paved for the past several years, and we got it done this year.
He says numbers are on the rise. The kids are having fun, and there's change they're getting done.
He is providing, I think, the culture and the leadership that's going to help us possibly get those things that we need at Grove Park.
A stronger focus now paired with a return of enforcement. Last September, the Jackson Police Department and City Council worked together to pass a funding bill that included the return of the Park Ranger Force.
All right, y'all, we made history, unanimous vote on the budget.
For the first time in well over a decade. Police Chief Joseph Wade and City Council President Aaron Banks say they've created 5 Park Ranger positions and 4 have already been filled and are active on duty. Mohammed says they have more support for Grove Park waiting in the wings.
We have some things that are in the making. I just can't speak on it right now because I want the baby to come to full term.
He says outside investment is the most important piece. The Hank Aaron Sports Academy at Smith Wills Stadium in Jackson is one of the organizations answering the call, giving yearly donations and covering the fees to bring the young athletes of Grove Park into the Atlanta Braves youth organization, Braves Country, bringing major league experiences to the Jackson Little Leaguers.
It provides us an opportunity to participate in Braves Country tournaments and also maybe an opportunity to go and play in Atlanta. So our kids are excited about that. Our coaches are excited about that.
Johnson and Muhammad both agree there is still a lot of work to be done, and true change comes from leaders of men like the late Walter Lee Cheatham, who continues to inspire in death the same way he did in life.
We need to come back and see if we can do fundraisers, but we need to do something for the field because it raised us, and you know, Cheatham done been there 50 plus years.
His death a year ago this month rocked the community while also bringing it together underneath a common goal: bring Grove Park back.
If we get enough people together in our neighborhood and do something for Grove Park, it can be done.
It's gonna be done.
While money can grow happiness, fund happiness, enable happiness, it's men like Walter and the Grove Park coaches who dedicate their lives to the children of Grove Park who inspire happiness.
Man, you may have been on another team, you might have been third string, but over there with Cheatham, you felt like he was a starter.
Yes, right.
He had a way with young men encouraging us to make us feel, like I said, our worth.
It was a joy to play for him. And we miss him.
I said, Walter, as long as I live, I love you. He said, I love you too. And man, that day was beautiful.
And now lies in Jackson's hands to carry on Walter's love for the love of the game, for the love of Grove Park. In Grove Park, Bradley Davis, 16 WAPT.